In a studio that's in a basement comes the epic story of how two friends changed the future of the movie podcast game forever. The reviews are in. Boys Life magazine gives the High Sci podcast 4.5 acorns. The Daily Bugle says, these guys are super legit. And Pope Francis declares the podcast as life-affirming. From the kid who tried to get smart with David Spade and got fucking old.
You're still out. You're still bad.
And the guy who can name all four Baldwin brothers.
Alec, William, Daniel, and the baby boy, Stephen.
Live from the studio of his parents' basement. The Have You Seen It podcast.
Part of that intro sounds a little familiar.
Yes, it does.
I think someone stole our intro.
Do you?
I think someone what am I saying?
Plagiarized?
Plagiarized.
There we go.
Could not get that word out, but someone plagiarized our intro. I've heard it before.
Where'd you hear it?
Heard it before.
Where did you hear it?
We just found out that David Spade, that old scoundrel.
Yep. He took a version of our intro.
He did. His sounds a little better.
It does.
He might have the actual audio on hand.
Really good studio quality. Yeah, much better than ours.
But so David Spade on his new show, we're just gonna come out and say, I don't want to start a war with David Spade. Obviously, we don't want that.
Oh, I'll start a war with
Oh,
him.
okay. Oh, you're
Right
good
now,
with that.
I'll start a war with him.
You don't
right
like the
this
man.
second. No,
You did.
he did
You were
publicly shame me.
He did at a very
He did. At a
young
very
and
young,
tender age.
Tender age. Yes.
Explain to people what you're talking about, Mason, for people that don't know.
Well,
Because we don't talk about it.
We don't. No, not too often. Well, this is the
Because I
third
know
time.
it was a tough time for you.
It was a very tough time.
And I was friends
had
with
a
you
lot
at the
of-
time. I knew seeing you, man, something's just not right with
Something's
that
just
guy.
not right. Just down in the dumps. I'm like,
You're playing in dirt all day. You're
know.
you're not talking to
Nope.
anyone. What is going on with old
I know
Nation?
my shoulders are slouched.
Yeah,
It's
you're
like, what's his
down.
what's that little man's problem? What's his problem?
And I called you little man at the time.
did call me a
because
little man.
I grew much faster
Dude,
than I was
you hit-
6'1" at third grade.
yeah.
Yeah, but
That's a problem.
yes, please explain to people what we are talking about.
We're talking about the time David Spade called me fat.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and he
For what?
you just showed me today that
Yes.
he's got an intro for his show Lights Out on Comedy Central. Shameless plug for David Spade. There you
Not
go,
sure
my
why
dude.
we're giving it to him.
Yeah, I'm not sure.
But
yeah, he's got You're Still Fat on there too.
well,
which
it's
is
and it's
pretty
audio
awesome.
from Benchwarmers, a film that you had a role in.
I did.
and you shared that scene, and obviously that scene stuck with David
Yes,
Spade.
it-
He's just like sweet fucking burn, man. I got
he's
that.
like, I
fucking
got that kid.
I'll
He's
never
like,
forget
I'll
about.
never forget.
I could see I just fucking wrecked that kid, and he knew he did some permanent damage for sure.
Oh yeah,
But he loved it so much he put it on his new show.
he did. It's pretty awesome.
So now it's in 2 intros.
It is in 2 intros. It's on our
you imagine
podcast
that?
and his Lights Out.
Did you
show,
ever think
which
that was?
Lights Out has to do with baseball too, so it's relevant.
Yeah, but his show doesn't have that.
It has nothing to do with baseball. No.
Not a damn thing.
Not-
That's the
not a thing.
closest I think it will get to baseball. Is that connection with the movie, The
Yeah.
Beachwarmers? But yeah, so we got that going for us.
I guess we do.
But we're not here to shame or talk about or start a war with Sir David Spade. We're not here to.
Is he knighted now by the Queen herself?
He deserves it.
He does.
Do you think America should start knighting people?
I think so.
Maybe
I think
we should call it
David Spade
something
should
else.
Be one of them.
We should call it something else.
What
But
should it
something along the lines, because we don't have knights.
be? We
So
don't have knights. No. Eagle.
I like that.
Yeah.
But what do you? Maybe
Use
like
a beak.
that we're not allowed to kill.
That's true.
bald eagles.
Well, one that dies of natural causes.
It's got to be something more American than that. I'll think
More
about it.
American
What's-
than a bald eagle.
Well, I mean, than the dead bald eagle pointing on someone's
That's true. That's true. The skull, though. it would be
eagle.
rep-
That, but then what would you call it? I guess it would still be Sir.
It could be a cane with an eagle skull on the top of it.
That could be. Maybe they can get Old Hickory, Andrew Jackson. He had a cane he liked to beat people
He
with.
did. He did quite
Maybe we start
frequently.
using that. I'm sure.
It's
Sure, that
lying around
sticks.
somewhere
Sure,
in the
that
White
stick
House.
is- It was a bit. I mean, it was an important stick. He did beat multiple people with that. That's not just rumor. He was an asshole.
He was. He definitely was a
he was
prick.
an asshole for sure. But yeah, anyways, we're not here to talk about Andrew Jackson or David Spade or being knighted.
Any of that
What
stuff.
are we here to talk about, Mason?
We are here to talk about episode 3 of The Boys, which is obviously the first season on Amazon Prime.
Yeah. And it's our ongoing season. We're going episode by episode, following along, hopefully with us as we traverse this show. But yeah, this is episode 3, season 1.
And this is week 2 of what we're doing.
Yes, sir.
So this will be September 10th.
Yeah. And the title of this episode is Get Some.
Which reminds me of football. Immediately. High school football. Get some.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
You remember?
Yeah.
Famous saying back then.
Back then, I think it still is.
Probably is.
I mean, of the big...
I haven't been on the football field in a while, but I could imagine.
I say get some even like mundane things. If I'm like vacuuming or something, I
get some.
That's
you
how
get pumped.
it was.
That's how you clean your house.
Well, I mean, when we were kids, that's how people told us to get some.
So naturally,
it's an odd
that's
saying.
how we get some.
Get some.
Yeah.
And I got some.
And it's very generic. You don't know what you're getting.
No.
Or what some.
And you can say it for offense, defense. You can say it for anything.
It's
a good ball boy. I've heard multiple times telling your ball boy to get some.
I was a ball boy back in the day. Back in
I guarantee they tried to pump you up.
They did.
It's universal. I think it's just someone starts yelling something at you. You're either scared or
I think once
physically
it's on a
pumped up.
T-shirt, it's legit.
Yeah.
Right?
When it's on a bumper sticker,
it's even more legit. That's when you know it's true.
Absolutely.
If it's on a bumper sticker.
Absolutely. That's when they put it in the Oxford Dictionary, whatever it's called. That's when it's on the bumper sticker, it's legit and it's real.
I'm good with it.
But yeah. Well, this episode kind of has something to do with sporting and sporting events, because there is a sporting event in this episode, right? We finally get the race between Shockwave, and I don't know a lot about Shockwave, but I was rooting.
He's got a shoe deal. That's something we do know. So he's got to be somewhat
I know,
legit.
but what was the shoe? He's the second fastest hero. What was the shoe deal with Reebok?
Probably.
If this is, it's a bottom tier shoe
it's
line.
Not the top. It's not the Nikes of this.
No, not universe. The Nike, not the Adidas. Probably not even the Under Armours.
No.
You're thinking Reebok. You're thinking Puma.
Well, we know A-Train wears Under Armour stuff.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, we see him with Under Armour.
Probably because that's the only clothing line the show could afford.
Yeah.
Amazon.
And the one that they sponsored.
Yeah. But yeah, we finally get, and it's the world's quickest race. Right?
How much do you think those people paid for their seats?
I'm guessing.
You got to ask that question. Right?
Well, it's the quickest race of all time. Fastest people, they say it's that's how they're promoting it. They said, so, I mean, I would guess thousands of dollars. It's not a huge stadium. It looks like it's in a high school.
Right.
So, I mean, I'm guessing that what would you pay to see Flash race Superman?
$5, and I better get a free hot dog out of it.
You're not getting that hot dog, I'm telling you right now, the way price concessions are going. I don't want to get into
it. It's ridiculous.
I don't want to get into it.
A hot dog at a stand costs you $8 these days.
Don't get me started.
Bitch,
you know, once you get me going, I'm not.
You're not
but anyways,
stop.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
But yeah, I mean, they paid a lot of money, definitely. They were pumped, too. And,
the fans were pretty jacked.
And the race lasts 2 seconds, and let's just spoil it for people. A-Train wins, but he wins with some help.
That's what I was gonna say. Why did he win? He was taking that supplement called Compound V.
No one's piss testing these folks.
I know. No drug test just because they're soups.
Come on.
Oh, come on. It's irresponsible. Where's the USADA of this league?
Exactly.
It's a damn joke.
Well,
we got to get someone on this.
Yeah, I don't think they're the best.
No,
they botched some, so maybe get a little more professional, maybe. But USADA, yeah, we're not. Yeah, they've botched some things, but yeah, I mean, no, I guess they're just assuming that they're just I mean, I guess no one's gonna assume that a superhero is doing steroids, right? Although I guess when steroids do the same, steroids are steroids. They're gonna help you no matter what, right? Even if you're super, they're gonna get you a little lean,
even more super, yeah.
So but he's juicing up on something called it's called V or Compound V.
Yep.
And it's this blue kind of Secret of the Ooze looking syrup kind of. I don't know. They don't really get into what it is in episode 3.
No.
But they know that it's being used to enhance, and A-Train is keeping it at his girlfriend's Popclaw. Who we get a lot of Popclaw in this.
And we find out she's like a B-list actor.
A B-list superhero.
Yeah,
and
but
then
also,
turn actor because they
yeah,
all do
because they all do movies.
they all
and
do
TV
everything in
shows
this one. Yeah, and
yeah.
songs and all that bullshit.
They're a multi-billion-dollar industry.
Multi-talented too.
naturally.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But and she's down and out. She's really dating out of her league with A-Train there.
Vought doesn't
and
pay
she
her
knows
enough
it.
to even pay the rent. So
No.
yeah, it's rough for Popclaw
No.
these days.
She doesn't have the best superpowers.
Hollywood is not nice.
She's not the best superpowers.
No, it's just two giant claws, and Popclaw.
I feel like I have the
sounds
same
more
power.
like a-
I have the same power with two knives. Do we not have similar powers?
You do, and probably with your
And
strength
her claws
as well.
only came out an inch past her fist. So even getting stabbed, you're not getting stabbed too deep.
And you're definitely not invincible. So I don't know what real power you have.
No, she was pretty powerless. I think she got lucky with being on the B squad. You know what I think helped?
What else?
She's a little looker.
She's
a little cutie.
And you know what? That always helps on the big screen, Cash. We know that.
Oh yeah, of course. Don't we know it? That's why we're not out there on the A-listers. You know why we're not. We have the talent.
That's why I gave up. I said nope.
We have the
I
talent.
took
there.
one look in the mirror. I took one truthful look. I said enough is enough.
That's the only reason keeping us set. Not hard work. Not,
no, it's not.
Not
Just your
skill
looks.
or
That's it.
talent.
No.
It's looks.
That's it.
It's a popularity contest. You know it is.
It is.
Because we'd be out there.
Has
but-
nothing to do with hard work or ethic.
Absolutely not.
None.
No. It's good looks and getting lucky for sure. But yeah, and she's a big loser. She can't pay her rent. Her Armenian landlord or something. For some reason, they're always like
They're
Romanian.
always that. Yeah.
It's
They
like
always got, like, the gold
Spider-Man's.
chain
It's like
around. I'm
Spider.
what
It's
are
like
we doing
Spider-Man's
here?
landlord.
Yeah.
Yeah. And he wants rent. She can't. She keeps putting it off. And A-Train, I guess, isn't helping out on the rent.
I know.
You gotta help
He's
out
worth
your
$1
sugar
billion.
mama. I mean,
He's not
yeah.
even helping his girl.
No, and she's
Even your side piece at $1 billion, you figured you'd help out to
I
some
don't-
extent.
I don't know a lot about the rap game and whatnot, but I think everyone takes care of their side piece.
Yeah.
You
I
gotta.
think that's just
You pay
status
rent.
quo,
You pay their
right?
cable.
Yeah.
That's how it goes. You pay their dish.
I don't know. I
That's
don't know
less
how
than
these
one.
things work in this universe.
That's how you
honestly.
keep. I mean, I don't want to say everyone should maybe have a side, but two consenting adults do whatever you want. But yeah, I mean,
Well,
if
3.
you don't want them getting it,
Maybe 4.
and we learned that he is keeping it a secret.
Yes.
So I mean, yeah, you think if you're being smart and you don't want this getting out, keep her paid, keep her not wanting,
Keep her happy. Yeah. On every front.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
It's very
A-Train
true.
had this coming.
He did.
He had what ends up coming.
He was sloppy.
He did. But poor Popclaw, man, I don't think she deserved it.
No, she didn't. She was nice.
Yeah. She should have just went out there and got a regular job.
That's
sorry,
hard though.
Some
That's
people
real
gotta
hard.
do it.
That's real
That's true.
hard when you're a soup to just go out there and get a job flipping burgers.
Absolutely.
It's not easy.
I mean, yeah, but I guess well, she seems like she could get like a job on a game show or something. Like she's used to be Popclaw. She used
That's
to be a
true.
hero, so it seems
Maybe
like
some
she could
reality
get something.
soup
Yeah, she
TV
doesn't seem like
show.
she's leaving her house much.
No.
She's also a heroin addict or some kind of addict. We learned
Some
also.
sort of yeah. She's doing drugs.
But and we also get introduced. But let's finish up. We learn that she is holding the V compound for A-Train,
Mhm.
and that A-Train was also on the V when he ran through Huey's gal.
Yeah, Robin.
Yeah.
Yeah. R.I.P. Robin.
R.I.P..
We miss you.
They didn't last long
No,
on the show.
about
What a
5
small,
minutes,
unfortunate role to land.
Out of all the roles, that was
Yeah.
the one that was incinerated.
Yeah,
in
she probably
5
read the
minutes.
first page and like, all right, I got a long standing.
yeah, I
I'm
can't
in.
wait
I don't.
for this.
I don't
I
need to
can't wait
read
for it.
anything else.
Just tosses it. I'm in every scene.
Yeah, but yeah,
That's a tough go.
it is a tough go. It is, but that's how it is. You know, you never know. You're
You
here,
never
you're
know.
gone. You're here, you're gone. But and we also get introduced in this one. I totally forgot to Mother's Milk.
Yes.
Which is another awesome character in the show.
Mhm.
We get him. He's like a counselor kind of for like a juvenile corrections. He's a
Right.
correctional officer kind
yeah,
of, but
exactly.
he's kind of he looks like he oversees all these kids. And we get him in the first scene. I like the scene, it's two kids fighting, and then he busts through the door, and they're just not. They're not fucking with.
No.
I mean, the guy's name is Mother's Milk.
It's pretty gangster. I mean, to have a weird name like that, it's pretty gangster.
You got to be either the toughest goddamn
Or the
guy in the
most-
world or the most talented fucking guy in the world and write music or something. Because if your name's Mother's Milk, it's going to be a rough go or it's going to be really easy go. But yeah, they two kids are fighting. He comes running in and they they immediately straighten up. Like, they're not arguing with
Yeah.
him or anything. They're
No.
very respectful.
He's a big guy. He'll fuck you up.
He's a very scary guy.
Intimidating. But
Yeah.
also sweet too in those moments. Like you could tell he cared about the kids.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
absolutely.
he's not a-
yeah.
he's not a
yeah,
piece
he's not
of
just
shit.
an asshole. Exactly. Yeah. He because we kind of get that sense when he comes in and he kind of talks about, he's like, I know I taught you to write and stuff like that, and then we get the sense that he also teaches them schooling and stuff like
Right.
that and whatnot. But we also learn that he's a hard ass because Mary's like, put your names on the
At
board.
the bottom,
of the board.
Yeah. That sucks.
That's a power move.
Yeah, especially when
in
you're talking
prison.
about two alphas in there and they got to be on the
Especially when
bottom
you're
of
in
the
jail.
list. They're not going to like that.
No. And you got to be a fucking hard ass even to be a correctional officer and talk like that to
You do.
anyone. I mean, you got to watch your back.
Yeah, you got to watch those shanks coming out.
The Shanks are,
Fuck, they're furious.
from what I know
And
of
it's
the
pretty
limited
impressive.
TV.
You ever watch those jail shows, man? What they make shanks out of? I'm like, I would have never even thought about
Well, you got to be thinking they've been doing it 100 years.
Right.
I mean, that just gets passed down
yeah,
and down.
it's a
Especially in
generational thing.
our prison system where people are lifers most of the time. So, I mean, those guys pass it down.
Yeah.
So, yeah. They've been doing it forever, man. And now
Once
they
you're
have it
in,
down
you're
to a
in.
T, an exact, like, not just shanks, but, like, just the way.
Anything.
Did you ever start watching the Netflix show Jailbirds or
No,
whatever it is?
you told me to watch that.
where
No,
they're
I have
sending
not.
stuff through the pipes in the
Uh-huh.
toilets. It's crazy,
wild,
man.
yeah.
It's crazy.
And they have like relationships through the toilets.
Yeah,
is what you were
sending
telling me?
pictures
Yeah.
and shit,
It's
and
wild.
chips and food and stuff. Yeah, that's the only way they get, because they never get to meet the guys because they're
Mhm.
always not in there together. So they have full on fucking relationships.
It's crazy.
What a crazy pen pal.
Definitely.
Get catfished real easy.
You could.
You never know what your
could.
fucking cellmate
Yeah,
does.
yeah.
And he's taking pictures from you and he's sitting in it and you don't know what's going on.
No.
He's just on the toilet a lot.
It's definitely sketchy on many fronts.
But yeah, so we meet Mother's Milk. Of course, it's the same kind of thing. Butcher comes in, convinces him. Of course, Mother's Milk doesn't want any part of it.
No. He
It's-
told his girl he was done.
Exactly, and he's
Mm-hmm.
got family, and his girl came back because it keeps getting referenced to something happened,
Mhm.
right? Something really bad happened to them in the past, and they broke up,
yep.
and they said they were never going to do jobs together again. Him, Frenchie, and Mallory, who they keep kind of talking
Yeah,
about.
and that's the big conflict there is Mallory. And
Mallory.
something happened to Mallory.
And in this one, we get the most talks so far of Mallory.
yes.
We don't really know anything about her, but Mother's Milk brings her up constantly to Frenchie, because apparently Frenchie had something to do with getting Mallory's grandkids killed.
Mm.
Which, when guys are going after your grandkids,
Yeah,
they're
that's-
going straight to the bottom.
They are.
Jesus, gosh, first you go
They're
daughter.
trying to wipe out a generation is what they're
know,
trying
yeah.
to do, which is pretty dark.
So we keep getting hinted at that's for something happened, and Mallory kind of got the brunt of it.
Mm-hmm.
Where, I mean, her grandkids, or whoever this is, grandkids died.
Right.
Which is that's a tough one. But something happened to all of them, what makes it think. But eventually old Billy Boy convinces him after he tells him that they killed a soup. And
Yep.
Mother's Milk was like, "Oh, you did
Oh,
not."
really?
He's like, "Sit down, tell me
Tell
this,"
me
because he's
all
right
the
about to kick him out.
Uh-huh.
He's like, He's like, "Oh, what was that?" So we instantly get the sense that he fucking hates superheroes too.
Yeah.
Because I mean, as soon as he said that, he was fucking in, and he said he killed Translucent too, which that's a big bragging.
Hell yeah.
You gotta
'cause he's
go
got
around telling-
indestructible skin.
Exactly, yeah.
Right.
So
it's a big deal.
That's like but that's the big hook, man. That's what gets Mother's Milk in, is the promise, or the that they killed a superhero and that they're gonna do more damage. We don't know why. We don't know why yet that Mother's Milk doesn't like these superheroes, but we know that he doesn't like. But eventually he does join, and they end up meeting up. And I like what happens. He does. He's like, as long as Frenchie's not in it.
Oh,
Billy-
yeah, that's
Billy's
right,
like,
yeah.
he's like, no,
He's like,
I
oh,
haven't
no,
seen
you're
that guy in
good.
years.
Frenchie? Oh, I forgot about that guy. I don't remember.
Yeah, he's like,
him.
I haven't seen him in years. And as soon as they meet up, Frenchie just walks through the door.
And they want to brawl.
Oh, it's beef.
Immediately.
It's
yeah,
beef
it's
on.
beef on, yeah, for sure.
It's beef on look. I mean, as soon as they get it. And I love how Frenchie just immediately pulls out 2 knives. He's just willing to fucking
Yeah, he was ready
go
to
to
go.
stab
He was ready to
town.
die that day.
But yeah, and they're doing some surveillance in like a fucking U-Haul or something. It looks stupid.
It looks
It's
really
obviously
dumb.
guys
It's
that are like not professional
No.
at this.
very obvious too.
But
And they kind of reference that and joke about that too. About how obvious it is.
Oh yeah. Yeah. Well, right at the start, he's like, "Why didn't you get a fucking van?" And then Billy says something like, "Everyone's gonna be looking for a van, but this is just another truck." But it's got like wires hanging out,
Right? Yeah,
like where the TV is.
They even got like the little cameras coming out of the holes too. You're like, really?
Yeah. So it looks super fucking sketchy for sure, and super suspect. But it works out for him.
It does.
They end up doing because they end up finding out or hearing earlier about Pop Claw.
Mm-hmm.
Right, and then they have to go in. They have to put because
and they hear that she's a week late on her rent.
Exactly.
Remember?
So they might have some kind of something to hold over.
Yeah,
or
and
something.
that comes into play later.
So, but first they want to do surveillance in her apartment. So, Mother's Milk and Huey, they go in there, pretend to be
Wi-Fi guys.
Yeah.
Switch the router out.
And then they use a bunch of cameras, and that's how they find out that she's using the V and whatnot. And they have a really weird kind of scene where she starts sucking on A-Train's toes.
Yeah. Don't know where that
I'm guessing.
My first thought was, you got to be careful because that guy's super fast. So if he kicks you in the face,
he's gonna snap.
Your teeth are flying. Your jaw
he's gonna
line's
break
probably flying. Yeah. I mean, we saw what happened to Robin. R.I.P.
R.I.P. again. R.I.P.
Yeah, definitely.
But yeah, for sure. Yeah, you gotta be careful. I wouldn't get anywhere around those goddamn fucking chopping machines. No. Yeah, especially when he's on that V.
Yeah, that V is no joke.
He can't keep his legs going. But yeah, so they go in there and they find out that she's got the V and whatnot. And eventually, though, they go to the big fucking race. The race that's 0.000002 seconds long, literally. Yeah. A-Tray wins that race, but
you literally watch the whole race in slow motion, and it's only 0.2 seconds of the race between the start and the finish line. Like that.
You can't, and you can't see anything though.
No,
when you're there, you can't see.
Yeah, you only see the guy who crosses the finish line. That's it for 0.2 seconds.
But they all go, all the boys, Huey, Billy, Mother's Milk, and Frenchie. They all go to the stadium, and they're doing some kind of like they want to get a sample of the V because Billy immediately lights up when he finds out that all the Soups are probably taking steroids because obviously that's huge blackmail too.
Of course.
So but they need a sample.
And he's working with the CIA too, so.
But they need a sample first. They need evidence, or they don't have anything. So they go to, and while the race is going on, they're all doing different stuff. Frenchie's he's doing his diehard thing. He's in the vents trying to get the V. Yep. V's not there because.
And that was a funny scene with Huey, too, when he goes to the locker room and he's like, Starlight! And she opens the locker room door.
Kind of a tense scene, too, yeah.
Very tense. And but it was very spy-esque, like Mission
exactly,
Impossible.
Yeah. And in this episode 3 is the first time that Huey finds out that the girl he met on the bench is Starlight.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's literally when
that's the first time,
out.
Yeah. But he also kind of uses her, too, to prevent her from walking into the locker room because Frenchie's going through A-Train's bags. Mm-hmm. So
try to find some sort of substance for the compound V.
Exactly, yeah. But they find out that he already pumped. He's all juiced up, and you can tell because he's like freaking.
Yeah, he's like twitching on the sidelines, ready.
And we
to
also
race.
see A-Train's brother, who's like just a normal guy, but he's his family. And talks about his mom or whatnot. And he talks about his mom watching because his brother doesn't know that, or his brother does have some idea that he is taking the drugs.
Yeah, he does early on. Yeah.
But
he says, "Are you on that shit again?"
Yeah, and A-Train's just like, "No, it's just mom's spirit running through me." And he's all sweating.
Yeah, he's sweating bullets. Yeah.
But it's a cool kind of scene because Homelander's there also. Of course, they're there trying to get them into the military.
And that was a cool scene with Butcher when he's staring down.
That's what I want to say. That's what I want to bring up. It's an awesome scene, and like it's almost
it comes into play.
It does, and and it's the thing where like you see them and they both. And you immediately think, oh, they both know each other. Mm-hmm. It's that kind of thing where like, we didn't know that before. We knew that he hit him, but immediately, even for Homelander to remember just a regular human, because, I mean, he thinks of all humans as kind of ants.
Right.
So for him to remember a human, just a regular guy, I mean, it's got to be something big.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely.
And and I love that how the Billy just fucking stared him down. I mean, they're all badasses. Frenchie, Mother's Milk, and Billy. But man, I know they're.
Could you imagine having?
It's an awesome group. I know, yeah.
And having the balls that these guys do to try to.
I know, just be
them.
humans and
Fuck no, I wouldn't.
Oh,
I mean, we just talk about average like politics. I'm like, nah, I'm good. Like, you know what I'm saying?
I'm just talking about some crazy guy on the bus. Nah, I'm good.
Yeah,
I'm
you just
out of
don't
it.
make eye contact with the crazy guy on the bus. That's it.
But fucking Billy, he didn't bat an eye
he
running a car through translucent, and he didn't bat an eye at staring down the fucking Superman of this world.
It's pretty
impressive.
impressive.
Stares him down,
Yeah.
and I love that he's not watching the race and everyone's staring. But it's a cool shot too, because I love everyone staring forward, but then it's just Billy because it makes him stand out easily. Yep. But yeah, and then we get some kind of. It's very tense. We also see Homelander and Maeve go on a little. They do their own heroing.
They do
the shootout in the office building,
but it wasn't even a shootout. It seemed like the way they framed it was a mass shooting. It was just one.
I
guy.
think it was. Yeah, I think it was a mass shooting. Yeah.
And then he was shooting down from the balcony.
He was shooting down, and I love how they come in, and he's got some fucking scripted line, like, you guys are the heroes. Because he says that, and then he says it later, too, and it's super, super scripted. And, but it's just, you know what I mean? They're there literally just for the publicity. Mm-hmm. Like, I don't think they
Well, they're having a casual conversation while people are dying in the office. I mean, they don't really care. It's just another day to them.
But it's a cool scene because when he goes up and kills the guy, you see that he's kind of not just a psycho, but he's sadistic.
Yes, definitely.
And he's like,
then he says, "You know the drill," and shoots Maeve.
Yeah,
multiple times, and you're like, "Oh, okay, this has been done many, many times before."
Oh yeah, but the way he killed that guy.
Fucking.
And then
I holding his heart. I thought it was going to be an Indiana Jones thing where he rips the heart out and the guy's still alive.
No, man, it was even cooler than that. Where I thought it was pretty kind of original, where he just grabs it until it stops beating, and the guy kind of
crushes it.
I mean, you could tell it's just like it's like he's like a god among ants, you know. He's like a kid. He's like a kid with a magnifying glass or whatever, where he can torture and do whatever he wants to these people because he's a fucking.
And we see that more, yeah.
It's getting more and more, but but he's always still scared of the heads of Vought. I mean, Madeline, she's not even the head because remember when she's feeding him lines?
She's VP, isn't she?
She is VP, yeah, and she's in charge of I think the 7. That's her job. But when she's feeding him the lines, because it's the lines that he's going to the race for him to say, and she's like, you gotta say this. And he's like, I don't need these lines. And she says a name, I can't remember the name, but she's like, it came straight from da da da. And she's like, if you want to go up to the 82nd, so you can tell that there's someone way high up that he's not fucking with.
Yeah.
I don't know who. I mean, who could have that kind of power over?
I don't know.
But yeah, so and we give so they go and they do their talking points about getting the military in, and something fucking really good happens to them. I mean, it's not good to the people on the plane. But is this the one?
No, this is not the episode.
I won't get into it then. God damn it, I won't get into it yet. Yeah, so
that's what I was talking about where it escalates.
Oh so, yeah, we won't get into it then. But yeah, does anything else happen in old season? Oh, we didn't talk about Huey. Huey goes to his dad's house, to old Simon Pegg's, and tells him that he's just leaving because he kind of has a freak out moment. Well, he's kind of, because this is still, you know, I like how they still going with it, and they're not. It's not like after a few episodes they just kind of forget about it. Where he's still going through. He still obviously has the PTSD of Robin, because even when they're at the bowling alley, because him and Starlight go on a date,
he's got flashbacks
because he keeps going back and forth, and she even says something. But yeah, he keeps and we didn't talk about, he sees Huey sees A-Train at Popclaw's apartment.
Yeah, which
and
is
A-Train
crazy.
Doesn't even fucking remember him again.
When Huey's walking out of the apartment, he runs into A-Train, doesn't even recognize him.
Asshole that guy is.
Wild.
And that guy saw him. He just saw him again at the fucking tower. Why? Yeah, and Huey almost blows it though this time.
Which I was like yelling at the TV. I'm like, "What are you doing? You're blowing your cover. You gotta be better than this." Because
he was like yelling at A-Train. Have we met before? And A-Train's like, I don't know, man. You're freaking me out.
Yeah. Weird.
But yeah. And that's but luckily for Huey though, old Mother's Milk saves the day. Knows that things are getting a little heated, and he bounces out of there.
Yep.
So they end up leaving, and they end up Oh, it's not even until the next episode, right? That they end up finding out that that there's still some Compound V left.
Right. Nope.
And then
not this one.
Episode. Yeah. So how does episode 3 end then? Oh, it does end with Popclaw. It does end in episode 3 with Mother's Milk finding out that Popclaw did swipe some vials, and they find her because Mother's Milk remembers that he saw the bag because he's dealt with druggies before, and he saw the go bag or whatever, and he remembers that she's a druggie and that she might have swiped some vials of V before that.
Oh, okay, yeah.
And then they end up going back and doing more surveillance and finding out that she does have some vials of V left, and she's looking like she might be about to take them. And I think that's how it ends, right? And the very end we get that Homelander reveals that Translucent. At the very end, they find the box of Translucent.
That's right. At the very end of this,
very
yeah.
end. That's how it ends. Yeah.
He said he ran into whatever, and
then Homelander's like, "What's the one thing I can't see through?" And he knew, obviously Billy knew, so because he put Translucent's box in put Translucent's body, what's left of it, in a box made of zinc.
Yep.
But eventually they found it, and Billy had a message on it that said, "Coming for you,"
which is pretty gangster.
Yeah, I mean. Yeah, I can't even compare the equivalent. It'd be like me sending a message to the president, with a box of the vice president's body parts, and then the message going, "Coming for you."
Yeah,
yeah. So that's crazy. That's crazy. That's episode 3. Get some crazy ending.
Yeah, definitely.
Billy's not scared. He's ready to die.
No,
obviously.
He's a psycho.
That's what I'm getting.
He's
at.
crazy.
I don't think he.
You get that right away.
Yeah, I don't think he thinks he's gonna walk away from this one. But is it in episode 3 that we get? No, it's not until episode 3 that we get a flashback with Billy, and we see kind of what's going on.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, this whole group, everyone in this group has had a superhero fucking kill someone that they like, and I mean that's what we're getting at, or that's what it's getting at least. I don't know what Frenchie really has to play in it. Although he was in the group originally, it never gets into why he's
No, in this episode too, this is a big thing that we got to talk about. They released the girl from the chains in this episode 3.
No, not episode 4. Yeah.
Oh, it was episode 4?
Female of the species.
Fuck.
Yeah, no, that's a huge... Yeah, no, we'll get into that. Yeah, that's the problem with us fucking watching all of them, so it's really hard to talk about.
It is.
So yeah. So what's going to happen in season 4? Who can imagine?
If you're listening to this, you probably have watched both. So.
Yeah, hopefully, but we haven't spoiled anything about it.
No.
And so that's episode 3. Look for our episode of episode 4, right? That's the next one we're gonna.
Yep.
What could happen?
What could happen?
I couldn't even imagine.
Nope.
Billy, he's a loose cannon.
He is.
He's the wild card.
He's pretty crazy.
I got a feeling he runs into Homelander in the street, he's just gonna go after him. I mean, he's got no powers.
No,
I don't think he's got any real idea of what's. He's thinking blackmail is going to work, but I'm thinking blackmailing the most popular people in the world is going to end up being harder for him, even if you're working with the CIA.
Yeah.
Because we know the CIA. Come on.
Oh, yeah, we know.
Is there any more?
FBI, each person has their own FBI agent, always listening.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah. We
talk about my guy all the time. He's living a chill life.
Jerry, right?
Jerry, he's. I don't think I'm supposed to know his name.
No,
I don't know.
Right.
I don't think you're ever
How
supposed
did we
to
get that
meet
information?
I don't know.
know.
Did he send that
I
to
plead
me?
the fifth. I have no idea.
But yeah, well, that's episode 3. Got anything else for us? Anything else we missed in that?
I think we got everything.
I think so too.
Alrighty, well, you guys can find us on YouTube. Type in Have You Seen It? Have You Seen It podcast? We're the angry popcorn guy in the director's chair. You can find our podcast in audio format, Spotify, Apple Podcast, iTunes, SoundCloud, Google Play, and Stitcher. Social media, Instagram, Have You Seen It? Twitter, Seen It Podcast. Cash is on Twitter. That's just Cash. My name's Mason Knight. That is Cash Kraus. And until next time.
Bye.